Shalom. First and foremost, before I begin, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. They continue to rule very well. And shalom to the hopeful elect that is also pushing this word, pushing out this truth, the 100% truth, throughout the four corners of the earth and all faith, truth, sincerity. Now, the topic of this video is going to be centered around the person that we all know as Christopher Columbus, in which his actual name is Cristobal Colon. Now, recently we had Christopher Columbus Day that recently passed, and these Edomites, which is the so-called white man, was celebrating this person, Christopher Columbus, as one of the founding, or so to speak, founding fathers of America, or so-called founding fathers of America. They look at this guy as a hero. All right, but the thing is that if you go into intensive research of history on this guy and read up on his logs that he wrote about, and not only him but other of his companions, such as to name one off the top of my head is Bartholomew de las Casas, which was one of his companions, and he wrote down in his logs what was going on. And there was another person that I don't know off the top of my head. I have to go back into my notes to tell you who it is. But basically there were accounts that were written down of what this guy was doing. Now, if you read about those accounts, it's completely contrary to how these people, look at him as. They think he's a hero, that he paved the way for these Edomites to share, so-called share the land, because these Edomites are real proud, man. They're real quick to tell somebody to leave their country, so-called country, but they don't realize that they're standing on stolen land. All right, this land really belongs to the so-called Native Americans, man, and the so-called Seminole Indians. All right, this is what this land really belonged to. And really, Esau is the so-called white man is a fugitive. All right, fugitive on the run. All right, and, he set his foot on the soils of America, and he's calling himself an American. All right, knowing damn well that he's not originally from this land. All right, but he just labeling himself as American because, going back into history, this guy Christopher Columbus. Okay. Now I want to go ahead and get into a scripture real quick before I pull up some information. This is Psalms chapter 64, verse 8. It says, "So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away." All right. So this is a scripture that's speaking about Esau, the so-called white man, which is the wicked and the devil that the Bible speaks of. His tongue is falling upon his own self. In other words, he's telling on himself. All right. Because now you have a thing called, it's not even called Christopher Columbus Day anymore. Now it's called Indigenous People Day. Look that up. All right. Now, originally, Apostle Elder Tahar, along with the other apostle elders, brought that to my attention about day being called Indigenous People Day, man. And that scripture, this scripture right here, where it speaks about making their own tongue fall upon themselves, this is pretty much what jumped out at me. And not only this, but also Habakkuk, the second chapter, where it speaks about shameful spewing. All right. Because this is shameful spewing, man. They're ashamed of what their forefathers did, man. All right. And actually, that falls right in line with another scripture. See if I can get it. I know it's in the book of Job, but I want to get to it real quick. I can already know what I'm getting. It's the book of Job, chapter 20, verse 10. It says, his children, all right, it's like it. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. All right. So there it is, man. It says children. All right. They talk about their forefathers saying that, oh, well, their forefathers did this and that, and we apologize, this, that, and, whoop de whoop. So they seeking to please the poor and talking about us, man. We're the poor that's in this land, is America, which is known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures. We're the poor. All right. We represent that parable of Lazarus and the rich man, which we represent Lazarus. All right, and the rich man represents Esau, which is a so-called white man. All right. And it says, and his hand shall restore their goods. All right, because Esau, actually there was an account of Esau actually trying to give us reparations, all right, for slavery. Okay, but the thing is that we're not accepting reparations, man. All right, because reparations, money can't buy back the pain and anguish and the harsh hell that you put on us, man. Money can't buy you salvation. That's basically what they're thinking that they can do. They're thinking they can buy their way into salvation, in which that's not going to happen. Okay? It's not going to save you from the ass whooping that's coming, man. And that sword is going to be laid to all of your necks. And Yahushua is going to be the one to do that. He's going to be the one to lay that sword down across all your necks. All right? And completely destroy you with the fierceness of his coming. All right? Now I want to go from there. I want to go ahead and get the article that I have up. This is actually put into the Huffington Post, and if you want to go into any deeper research on them, you can Google it. Look up Bartholomew de las Casas, and it'll pull you up some information on his logs. But in this article on the Huffington Post is pretty much is summarized into this whole page. Now this is by this guy by the name of Eric Kasem, if I'm pronouncing it right. And like I said before, in the book of Psalms, where it speaks about to make their tongue to fall upon themselves, this is an example. Okay. Now going all the way down to this paragraph right here, it says second, all right, because they talked about the first point. Now this is the second point. The second, Columbus wasn't a hero. When he set foot on that sandy beach in the Bahamas on October 12th, 1492, Columbus discovered that the islands were inhabited by friendly, peaceful people called the Lucayans, Taínos, and Arawaks. All right. It says, writing in his diary, Columbus said they were a handsome, smart, and kind people. He noted that the gentle Arawaks were remarkable for their hospitality. All right. So they offer to share with anyone, and when you ask for something, they never say no. All right. You said the Arawaks had no weapons. Their society had neither prisons nor prisoners. They were so kind-hearted that Columbus noted in his diary that on the day that the Santa Maria was shipwrecked, the Arawaks labored for hours to save his crew and cargo. The native people were so honest that not one thing was missing. And see, that's the thing, man. They nursed them back to health. They're pretty much